Hello guys, welcome to Daily Current Affairs by Neo IAS. Today is 23rd February 2019 and the topics we are going to deal here is Pradhan Mantri MUDRA Yojana and the MUDRA Bank, Indus Water Treaty, Financial Action Task Force and its list, Energy Efficiency Services Limited, Domain Name Server, Map Aided Program and the previous year question revision series. Moving to the first topic, that's a Pradhan Mantri MUDRA Yojana. So, this Yojana has been used for since last 2-3 years. So, now it is in news because the Labour Bureau, who is responsible for generating the employment etc. under the MUDRA loan, they have completed the survey they have been doing on the employment in order to make the list. Okay, they completed it, that is why it is in news. And the Pradhan Mantri MUDRA Yojana, it's a flagship scheme to fund the unfunded. That means whoever has been not benefited with any of the government program is being funded through this program to make them formally bring them formally into the financial system and also to extend some affordable credit to them. And the MUDRA, the word MUDRA stands for Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency. Okay, so basically it enables a small borrower to borrow from all the public sector banks, the private banks, the foreign banks, also the microfinance institutions, the non-banking financial institutions. So, they can lend from any of the above and they get a loan up to 10 lakhs only for the non-farm income generating activities, not for the farm activities. Okay. And any Indian citizen who has been doing a business in this non-farm sector, like the manufacturing or the processing or the trading or the service sector, they are all eligible for this particular loan. So, this MUDRA Yojana comes under the Ministry of Finance. Okay. And major objectives are, one is funding the unfunded, then the financing the last mile financials of small and micro businesses, whoever doing very small businesses and they can't raise enough fund, they are being benefited by the scheme. And also they have been providing priority lending to SC/ST enterprises also, and also this women enterprises. Okay, all of them are all the deprived sections have been benefited, and we get like 3 types of loans under Pradhan Mantri MUDRA Yojana. One is the Shishu that comes for a coverage of up to 50,000 rupees, and the Kishore loan comes from 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees, and the Tarun, the loan Tarun gives you 5 lakh to 10 lakh rupees. So, Tarun is the biggest amount giving scheme. Okay. And about the MUDRA Bank, so MUDRA Bank is a bank allowing this MUDRA loans. So, they are the refinancing bank. So, they provide a vehicle to implement the PM MUDRA Yojana. Also, they regulate and refinance all the microfinance institutions because they are going to lend this small and medium enterprises, the MSME sector. These microfinance institutions are going to like lend for MSME. So, they will regulate and refinance all these MFIs, and it will also partner with the state and regional level coordinators to do this easy financing. Okay. And the MUDRA Bank, they classify their borrowers into mainly 3 groups: the starters, that the person who starts a venture, and the mid-stage finance seekers that who already started it and left it somewhere where they cannot take it forward. And the next level growth seekers are already successful and they wanted to bring their business to next level. So, all these are the categories of borrowers under MUDRA Bank. Okay. And their major function, the MUDRA Bank, they are doing is they register, regulate, and they also they frame policy guidelines for the micro small enterprises, MFIs. Okay. So, the microfinance institutions are lending the money. So, they regulate, registers and formulate policy for MFIs. Okay. And they ensure that this thing is going transparent. Fine. And the next topic we are going to deal is Indus Water Treaty. So, before coming to Indus Water Treaty, I would like you to know that MUDRA Yojana is been in news for last 2 years, but still this is very important. So, you have to know which ministry it comes under and what are the types of loan they provide, what is their function and who are benefited. Okay. Now, coming to Indus Water Treaty. So, this is in news because the Water Resource Ministry issued a statement giving details of the projects that have been implemented to stop the flow of water belonging to India to going to Pakistan. So, what happened is that a union minister said that they had decided to stop the flow of its share of river water to Pakistan under this Indus Water Treaty, and they also decided to divert water from the eastern river and rather supply it to the people in Jammu, Kashmir and Punjab. Okay, so they decided to divert the flow of eastern rivers. Now I will tell you what Indus system. Indus system comprises of mainly 6 rivers: the Indus River, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. Okay, and it is mainly shared between India and Pakistan. Also, a small part of share is also going to China and Afghanistan. Okay, so if a question comes like under Indus Water Treaty, who all are sharing water? Means it's not only India and Pakistan, but also China and Afghanistan is also getting a small share of water. And it has been signed in 1960, as you all know. So 3 rivers among the 6 rivers are going to Pakistan and 3 are coming to India. The Indian rivers are Ravi, Satluj and Beas. They are the eastern rivers. So they are like covering an exclusive area, like 33 million acre feet they are covering. Okay. So the Indus Water Treaty, as you all know, it is brokered by World Bank between India and Pakistan, and it was signed at the time of Jawaharlal Nehru, and then the then Pakistan president Ayub Khan. It was signed in Karachi, okay, in 1960, and is the most successful water treaty in the world. Okay, so the Pakistan is getting Indus, Chenab and Jhelum, and we are getting Beas, Ravi, Satluj. Okay, and as while the control of western rivers are with Pakistan, the Indus River, 20% of the water of the Indus River is used by India for irrigation, power generation, transportation, etc. Okay, now coming to the Indus Water Commission. Under Indus Water Treaty, so they made a commission, Indus Water Commission, as a bilateral commission. So what they are doing is they implement and they manage the treaty. So they are responsible for implementing and managing the treaty, and so they have commissioners for they appoint permanent commissioners for this Indus Water Treaty, and there will be like a high ranking engineer, okay, competent in the field of hydrology and whatever the water use. So there will be engineers for they have the permanent post. Okay, so that's all you have to know about Indus Water Treaty. You have to know when it was signed, who signed it, and what is in the treaty, and who is implementing it, who is brokering it, which all rivers go to which all countries. Okay, so that's all you have to know about Indus Water Treaty. Coming to the next topic, that's Energy Efficiency Services Limited, that is EESL. So EESL is an agency which is often seen in news. Okay, so now it is in news because they are launching this super efficient air conditioning program. So what they are doing is they are providing the super efficient air conditions, like they provide like 40% more energy efficient than this 3-star technology. So basically for all electronics appliances, you have the star technology. You will see 3-star, 5-star, 2-star. So they are providing more efficient air conditioners, more than efficient than this 3-star technology. So EESL is it's a joint venture of 4 national public sector undertaking. So you have to know which all public sector undertaking PSUs are involved in making EESL. So one is NTPC Limited, one is Power Finance Corporation Limited, one is Rural Electrification Corporation Limited, and the other one is POWERGRID Corporation of India Limited. It's very important. Please make a note of it. Okay, EESL, it's a joint venture by 4 national PSUs. One is NTPC, then Power Finance Corporation Limited, Rural Electrification Corporation Limited, and the POWERGRID Corporation of India Limited. Okay, and they are set up under the Ministry of Power, and it is like a super energy service company. ESCO, it acts as a resource center for for capacity building for all the discoms. You know what discom is, okay? So that's distribution companies, so the discoms and the energy regulating commissions or the state development authorities. For all of this, it provides it acts like a resource center, the EESL, okay? And it also leads the market related activities of National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. That means whatever comes under NMEEE. So EESL will be the implementing agency for all market related activities of NMEEE. Okay. And it is also the world's largest energy efficiency portfolio in the world. Okay. So, and three main programs are being implemented by EESL. One is Street Lighting National Program, that is SLNP. It's the world's largest street light replacement program. Then you have Unnat Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all. This is Ujala program, that is giving LED bulb in subsidized price. And the third one is world largest agricultural demand side management program, that is AGDSM. So all these three programs comes under EESL. Fine. So that's all you have to know, but EESL is important. Okay. And coming to the next topic, that is the domain name server, DNS. You might be very familiar, especially the engineering students will be very familiar with DNS. So why is it in news? Because India is now having their own DNS for safe browsing. So it is aimed at providing a faster and more secure browsing experience for the internet users in India. Okay, they also ensure that the citizen data is stored locally. And this everything will be rolled out, it will be executed, implemented by National Informatics Center. So National Informatics Center, NIC, is the technology arm of the government. Okay, it could also protect the users from the malwares or the phishing or any kind of threat. They can protect the users from that also. Okay, so DNS, basically this DNS server, it's a computer server. What they do is they contain all the database of the public IP addresses, and they have the IP address, they have the host name, and what they do is they keep a database of it, and whenever asked or requested, they provide it with the host name or the IP address. The most basic function of DNS server is that to translate a domain name into its IP address or the IP address to the domain name. Okay. So it is easier to remember a host name, because the host name may be in numerics. It's very in alphabets. So it will be like I have given an example here, neoiascap.com. It is much more easier to remember than an IP address. Okay, IP address means lot of numbers. Okay, so that is also an important topic from science and technology. Coming to the next topic, that's a Financial Action Task Force and its list. I think there's a spelling mistake in financial. Don't bother, please. Sorry for that. And this thing is in news because Financial Action Task Force, what they did was they condemned the Pulwama terror attack and retained the Pakistan on grey list. Pakistan is already in grey list. They retained it. Okay, so this FATF, it's a inter-governmental body, and it is to combat or fight the money laundering and the terrorist financing. So, two functions of FATF is, one is money laundering, to combat money laundering, and one is to combat terrorist financing. Okay, in initial stage, it was only combating the money laundering. Okay, when it was started in 1989, it was established by G7 summit in Paris in 1988. At that point of time, it was only to combat the money laundering thing. But in 2011, it expanded to the terrorist financing also. Okay, apart from this money laundering thing. And it is also act like a policy making body. Okay, they also make certain rules or protocols how to behave or how a country should be, what all things a country should not do. They also make that policies. Okay, And basically what they do, they set standards and they also take measure if the standard is broken, and they also monitor the progress if they have this member country. So they also have been giving this measures how to behave, and if they are like breaching it, they can monitor the progress of the country and they can review all the what all things a country has been taken, what all measures a country has taken for compacting the terrorist financing activities. And also they doesn't work alone all the time. They also have many international stakeholders along with them to work against this common enemy, that is terrorist financing. Okay. And they have something called as 40+9 recommendations. 40+9 recommendation means 40 and then 9. 40 recommendations are on the money laundering and 9 recommendations are for the terrorist financing. So the total there are 49, 40+9, 40 for money laundering and 9 for terrorism financing. Okay, together they are called as 40+9 recommendations. They also have this grey list and black list. Grey list is basically it is to deal with terrorists and facilitators. So it is to classify the countries who are facilitating this thing, the terrorism. Okay, these countries, what happened to these countries are they are subjected to direct monitoring and intense scrutiny. Who is doing this? International Cooperation Review Group. Okay, so they have a group called as ICRG, International Cooperation Review Group. What they do is they scrutinize and monitor the countries who are placed in the grey list. Okay, it will squeeze the listed country's economy and it make it harder to meet its mounting for like the foreign financing needs, or if they wanted to borrow money from IMF, they'll scrutinize it. Why they want money from IMF? They'll scrutinize everything. They'll make sure that no money is going to the terrorist financing. Okay, so they'll be constantly under direct monitoring of ICRG. Okay, and they also will lead to the downgrade. It will also lead to the downgrading of the country's debt rating, because if you get to know if a financing company or a company who lends, or a financial organization who lends, and say an international bank like ADB, if they come to know that this country is placed in in the grey list, they are suspected to fund this terrorism, then they'll be in the their blacklist also, because their debt rating will come down and it will again downgrade the country. So there are many issues for that particular country if it comes to the grey list. Okay, it will also suspend the international fund and all the aids they are getting. Okay, and the blacklist is when the country are called as a non-cooperative countries or the or non-cooperative territories. Okay, then those countries are placed in blacklist. They are not being monitored. We know that they are not cooperating at all. They are not listening to the FATF. Then they are placed in blacklist. Okay. Next, coming to the map aided program, we have Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is in news because the Turkish president Erdogan, he confirmed his intention to bring this peace in Kurdish controlled areas of Euphrates River. Okay, so around the Euphrates River. So Mesopotamia is a historical region in West Asia. So it is between the Euphrates and Tigris River, the old system, Tigris-Euphrates River system. So it is situated in that area. In modern day, it is a portion of Iraq, Kuwait, then Saudi Arabia, parts of Syria, Turkey. Okay, also Iran is also there. Okay, all these areas, those part coming between the Euphrates and Tigris River was the historical Mesopotamia. Okay, can you see the picture here? So you can see the rivers, Tigris and Euphrates, and the area around and in between the Euphrates and Tigris is the Mesopotamia, guys. Okay. And about the Tigris River, I have to mention the two rivers because it's very big rivers and very important rivers. So I'll give you a brief note on the both rivers as well. So Tigris River, it's you have two rivers. The easternmost river is the Tigris River. This river, it originates in Lake Hazar That's the Taurus Mountains of Turkey. So in southeast Turkey, you have Taurus Mountains, and this you have Lake Hazar there. So it originates from Lake Hazar. Then it runs through Turkey and Iraq, and it empties itself into the Persian Gulf. So Persian Gulf is a mouth of Tigris River, and while going to the Persian Gulf, it is named as Shatt al-Arab. Okay, and it flows to Turkey, Syria, and also Iraq. It passes through 3 countries: Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. And Baghdad is the capital of Iraq. It is on the banks of Tigris. Okay, and about Euphrates River, it also originates in eastern Turkey, and it flows through Syria and Iraq, and it joins Tigris. Okay, when Tigris and Euphrates are joined, it is called as Shatt al-Arab, and it goes and empties into Persian Gulf. And this Euphrates River, it is the longest and one of the most historically important rivers of Western Asia. Okay, so that's all you have to know about Tigris and Euphrates. Coming to the next topic, PQRS. You have a question here on economics. In India, which of the following have highest share in the disbursement of credit to the agriculture and allied activities? So the options are commercial bank, cooperative banks, regional rural bank, and microfinance institutions. So in India, we know that in India, the commercial banks always dominate all other banking sectors, all other financial corporations. So here also in agriculture and allied activities also, the commercial bank plays a major role. Around 60% of the credit that is going to the agriculture and allied sector are from commercial bank. The other, like 30% of them, 30% of it is coming from the cooperative banks, and only like 10% of the credit are coming from regional rural bank and microfinance institution, because regional rural bank and all doesn't have that much branch. Okay, and the microfinance institution is also having a limit. So commercial bank being superior to the left options, it is answer here. Okay, so commercial bank is have the highest share in the disbursement of the credit to agriculture and allied sector, around 60%. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any doubts, please mention it in the comment section, and if you have any suggestion also, please mention it. Thank you so much. Good night.